Good morning. This is Late Night Nap, and this video that I'm doing today, I want to give a shout out to Freddie Lee's father. I listened to his video the other day, maybe about 2 days back, and I was very impressed. And not to say that he is the only man at his age who has done this, but the fact that at this moment he's the only man that I can say that I listen to at his age who has achieved such a feat, and is willing to share that publicly on YouTube. Because I follow Freddie Lee videos, and I've been following his videos for the last 2 years now. Excuse me. I'm not here. I'm not in America at the moment. I'm working overseas. I'll probably be coming home soon, though. I can't tell anybody when, but I will be coming home soon. But anyway, this is a shout out to Freddie Lee's father. I'm very impressed, and sometimes you can't express your words of how you feel underneath the video because you're limited. So that's why I'm making this video. It's early in the morning over here. I'm going to have myself a nice little breakfast. Show you this, what I'm eating this morning. Yep. Banana. Pop-Tart. So hard-boiled eggs. Or hard-boiled eggs. Fried boiled eggs. And some oranges. Got my fruit. Got my protein. And of course, well, this is carb. This is carb. And I also have this. Yeah. See that? Yeah. It's in Arabic. Yep. There you go. Yogurt. Just so you'll see. Whoops. Make sure you can see that. Real fruit yogurt. Anyway. That's what I'm having this morning for breakfast. And typically that's what I do eat. I try to eat light. But anyway, this is a shout out to Freddie Lee's father. He's, I believe, 63 years old. And he has done like 17 marathons, and he also has done a few Ironman things. And this is something I really want to do, and I'm very impressed by this. And I have to say that for someone his age, that is very impressive. It is very hard on the body. I know this personally, to run. I've been running for 12 years myself because I served in the military. And I served one part of my military life in active duty, and I served the other part of my military life in the National Guard. I'm not going to say what state. That will remain nameless, but I will say this. For him to achieve that is something that is highly, highly respected. I believe in that kind of a lifestyle myself. I'm not saying I've never drank alcohol before, because I have. I'm not saying I've never smoked before, because I have. Okay, I did that stuff. I was doing some of that stuff when I was in the military. I didn't do it a whole lot. I didn't do it on a regular basis, but I've ceased that now because of just getting older and because of being involved in running and in other athletic activities. I used to lift. I don't lift as much now. I used to lift when I was in my 20s a lot. The most I've ever benched was 300. I never exceeded past that. When I stopped lifting, that was my highest that I've ever benched before. I was around 220, maybe 215 at the time when I did do it. I've now transitioned. I still lift from time to time, but not as much. I do lesser weight, and I kind of like Freddie's father. I do lift, but I don't lift to get big. I lift to stay strong. I lift to keep fat off my body, and I run. I do cardio. I love cardio. It's part of, I believe it's something that I used to be. There's 3 body types, and I used to be, can't think now what it is. It's eluding me now. I used to know all 3 of these. But I was the ectomorph, I believe. I believe I was the ectomorph body type when I was younger than I am now. And then I started lifting, and then I got bigger, and then I went back. When I joined the military, I started running again because we did a lot of running, and I didn't like lifting. I couldn't lift as seriously, but and do running at the same time. That's like burning both ends of the candle. It's very hard to do. So I decided, well, not to give up the lifting totally, but to just make it less. But I do more cardio than anything. Jump rope. I have a video where I'm jump roping in my garage there. I made that video last year sometime. I have a video too that I did when I did push-ups, and that comes from conditioning. And all I'm saying is, Freddie's father is very conditioned. He's a very conditioned man. For him to be able to pull off the things that he's done, and I don't know this man. I only, like I said, I'm following Freddie Lee videos, and I myself have been thinking about becoming one of his students. I don't know yet if I'm going to, but because I love the martial arts myself. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. One of the things, though, I am saying, so I don't make this video too long, is that people don't understand that unless you do a lot of running, and me, I'm well over 200 pounds. Okay, I want you guys to understand that. So when I run, when I run my distances, I'm not running at 170. I'm not running at 160, 150. I'm not even, you can tell I'm not a small guy. But I'm not huge either. But when I run at my age, because I'm 41, I'm running well, I'm running far and pretty fast for my size. I am 6'1", and I weigh around 225 right now. I've gained some weight since I've been away from home. When I did those videos last year, I was 200. The last time I was under 200 was maybe 3 years ago, and that was for a brief time. I think I was about 190. So I'm not out of shape when I say, just because someone is over 200 pounds doesn't say they're out of shape. I'm conditioned like a boxer would be conditioned. Uh, most professional boxers, they are middle, light, heavyweight. They're going to condition their body and still weigh over 200 something pounds. I'm 225, like I said. Now I gained 25 pounds since I've been here. Some of that has been muscle. Some of it, not all of it, but some of it. But the Freddie Lee's father, at 63 years old, being an elite, I would say, being a man who can run, not an elite runner, but to be someone of his stature and to be his age, I take my hats off to this man. I know about running. I love running. And one thing I can say is that running is a sport not made for everybody. I think genetically, I was born to have that within me because I was an ectomorph. I was a real skinny dude when I was young. So I think that's why I run pretty well for my size even now. But I've done a lot of running in the military too, and I've continued to keep that up. I've done a lot of 5Ks. I did one half marathon, and I haven't done one in a while. But I plan on doing some more. One thing I can say is I found some weaknesses in my body when I did that long distance for the first time. That was the furthest I had ever run, 13.1 miles. Okay, that's half of a marathon. Another 13.1, I don't know if I would have made it because my calves were tightening up on me. So I was realizing now my body was losing a lot more fluid than it should, and I wasn't taking in the fluid that I should. So Freddie's father, for him to be doing that for 17 years and to not to have any really serious injuries or any serious problems is impressive. He understands his body. He's been doing this for a long time. You have to understand your body. You have to listen to it, know its weaknesses, and know how it reacts. And I think this is what Bruce Lee was trying to incorporate in his abilities. Bruce, what I gather from some of the stuff that I understand about Bruce Lee is that he truly was a man of fitness, and he incorporated that within his martial arts. And every facet of his body he had to train, okay, to be the elite martial artist that he was. But Freddie Lee's father, I'm doing this shout out to you because I really am impressed by how fit you are at 63. I hope to be that fit, if not more, when I get that age. I'm 41 now. I did the math, so that means you must have started your running when you were in your 40s somewhere, about now, where I am at. Maybe a little later in your 40s. If you've been running for 17 years, I'm thinking maybe your late 30s when you started, somewhere around there, early 40s. You're 63, you've been doing it for 17 years, you do the math. I would say, that's about right, about 40 something when you started that running. Plus, I hear you bike too, and that's excellent. That is really, really excellent. I don't know if you're going to see this video or not, but for anyone that might watch Freddie Lee's videos, this is a shout out. I mean, I know I told a lot about myself, but the reason I did that was because I want you to know that I understand that very much, the fitness that goes behind the running, at least. I want to improve on my swimming. I want to improve on my biking. I don't do a whole lot of either one, and I do more running than anything. I'm stronger at that. When I completed my half marathon, I did it in 1 hour and 35 minutes. Okay, and I was 37 when I did that. But like I said, I don't think runners get the respect that they should get. It's so impressive to know that someone out there is still doing it at that age. It gives me hope, and anybody else out there that loves fitness. One of the things I will say is this: is that I also have had injuries in my feet, because of my size. So I don't know if he's ever had those kinds of injuries, where the bottom of your feet, sometimes you can stretch that tendon that goes from your heel to your toes. And I've had those kinds of injuries, even with running. So you really have to be careful and cautious. People don't realize that you can get hurt doing that. You cannot be hydrated right, and your muscles can cramp up on you. You can get cramps. Running is not easy. And when you don't run consistently, you find it harder. And that's why a lot of runners run every other day, or they run every day, especially the elite runners. The elite runners, it's so impressive. I can't even imagine. I mean, these guys are running, keeping their heart rate up for 26 miles, man. That's incredible. I don't know. It's like maybe a 200 heartbeat, or 200 beats per minute or something, or maybe 190 something beats, or 180 something beats per minute. Maybe around there, somewhere averaging around 170 to 180, and running 4-minute, 35-second miles, 4-minute and 50-second miles. 5-minute miles. That's impressive to keep your heart rate up that long for 26 miles. I pause because I want you guys to really get that. To keep their heart rate up that long for 26 miles, 26.1 miles, is very impressive. Most of these elite runners are very small. Whether they're tall or short, they're very small. A lot of them are way under 140 pounds. But all I'm saying is that I'm giving a shout out to Freddie Lee's father. That I am very impressed with his work ethic when it comes to that. He's a true Iron Man. He's also done that, and to do those in 2 years, that's really, really impressive, because you gotta train. You can't just get out there and run a marathon. If you try and do it, you're gonna pay for it. You gotta train to do that. Even the elite runners have to train. And then, to do the Ironman, you have to train to do that. Because you never know what your body is going to do on that particular day, but you want it to be as strong as possible on the day that you do those events. And I have to say, that's very impressive. It really is. And I take my hats off. And pretty much my video is at 18 minutes and 40 seconds. So I want to end it now, but I want to say my hats off to Freddie Lee's father, for being an example of a true Iron Man, especially at his age. And shout outs to him. And that's it. You guys have a nice day. And I'll try to keep posting some videos when I can. Peace.